Nationalism, the ego of separation. Albert Einstein, the great scientist, once said, "Nationalism is an infantile disease. It is the measles of mankind." This statement reflects a profound perspective on the dangers of a concept that separates people, viewing nationalism as a collective ego that leads humanity to cling to the idea of us and them. Nationalism and the Buddhist concept of mental fabrication. From a Buddhist perspective, nationalism is rooted in mental fabrication, in Pali Sankara, and the clinging to a self, in Pali Atta, which are the sources of all suffering. Mental fabrication. Humans fabricate the concept of nation by defining a group of people who share a language, culture, or borders as us, and all others as them. This fabrication creates a sense of pride and belonging, but simultaneously generates a feeling of alienation and suspicion toward those outside the group. Clinging. Once the mind fabricates the idea of a nation, it begins to cling to it, believing that my nation is the best or my nation is the most important. This clinging prevents us from seeing the truth that all human beings are fellow inhabitants of this world. Clinging to the ego of a nation ultimately leads to conflict, war, and hatred. The essence of liberation from nationalism. Einstein and Buddhism share a common ground in viewing separation as irrational, with the solution being to abandon clinging. Einstein advocated for universalism and world citizenship, which see all human beings as equal. Buddhism teaches us to abandon the self or the ego that is mentally fabricated. When we let go of the self, we see the truth that all things are non-self, in Pali anatta, with nothing truly belonging to us, including the concept of a nation. Therefore, liberation from nationalism is not about rejecting one's own culture, but about seeing things as they truly are. That the concept of a nation is merely a mental construct. When the mind ceases to cling, we can live peacefully with others on this planet, without the wall of ego or nationalism blocking the way.